My name is Chad Clark. I live at 3200 Monte Vista Drive here in Casper. I'd like to just say I'd like to take what these other two folks said a little bit further. If you pay attention to the news, things going on, a lot of things we don't know what's happening. We don't know if it's going to happen. We don't know what to think, a lot of us. But I, for one, am a person that likes to be prepared. These vaccine mandates that are going around the world. Our wonderful president, and don't get me wrong, I don't want to make this political, because this is not what it's about. But I would appreciate the board giving it some thought, trying to figure out what we can do if a vaccine mandate comes, because that's the same as the masks. It should be our choice. It's part of our constitutional right to make our own choice. We raise our kids to think for themselves. If people want to get the vaccine, that's fine. I don't have anything against them. I don't want anybody having anything against me for not getting the vaccine, and I don't want to force anybody to take a vaccine that they don't believe in. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to address the board, please come forward and state your name and address and limit your comments to 3.
4052 East 12th Street here in Casper. And I just wanted to thank you for the board in general, the district, for not making it, making the mask optional at this time. I don't think we want to go down that road again where we were. You saw the poll that happened. The lady mentioned that in her comments. But I believe it was somewhere around north of 85% of the people that you polled that were willing to, and that included district folks as well as parents. And I think that sends a clear and loud message to you folks representing us. And so I just want to make that point. I also don't want you to go down the road just because Laramie County and Albany County did what they did. I don't think that means that you have to do that as well. I think that you need to use common sense, like as previously stated in the last two commenters. But I also want you to know that it's important to have freedom of choice. And obviously it is a big deal. And last time, I think we sat on our hands and we didn't speak out. We let you guys make those decisions, but we went through almost an entire year of not knowing what we were actually dealing with. This time, we know a little bit more. Actually, we know a lot more about this virus. And as previously stated, and I'll just state it again for the record, but I think that it is a virus. It's a respiratory virus, and you're not going to get rid of it with masks and vaccines, just like the lady said. So I agree with what she was said. I agree with what the previous gentleman said. We have rights, and we want to protect our children, and we have personal choice, and I think that needs to be stated, and you guys need to realize that. We hope you'll do the right thing in the end. So thank you.
Thank you. If anyone else would like to address the board, please come forward and state your name and address and limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Good evening. Good evening. Mike Pyatt. I live with my wife. Whatever her address is, that's mine too. I do live in Casper. I want to take a little different perspective. What everybody said, I agree with. I know you don't answer questions in this exchange, but I'm curious why you decided to go not mandatory. I appreciate it, but I'm still wondering why. I'm more interested in what I call the physics of liberty. Liberty is not self-perpetuating. We know that. So how many generations would it take for people to shut up, sit on their hands? Would liberty evanesce like magic. So when you talk about mask mandates, or if the county officials say we have to do this, we believe, and I represent an organization called Liberty's Place for You, Wyoming. We're pro-liberty, individual liberty under God. So in that vein, we want to make sure that liberty is not a secondary or a third thought. Parents have liberty. The students, constitutional liberty, they have liberty too. So I want to make sure in this process that if the numbers go up, if you're following science, sometimes I fear you're chasing science because it's a little wobbly and it changes. So liberty, virtuous liberty is what we're talking about. And if you're not sure what that is, virtuous liberty is what the founders said. If we don't have virtuous liberty, doing the right thing for the right reason, we will not someday have liberty. So I think the mask is only symbolic of the threat to our liberty. There are other issues, and should they come along, we want to make sure you're standing with us for liberty. And as the others have said, we will not tolerate our liberties being either diminished or undermined. So common sense is good, but I've seen a lot of foolish things from people with common sense. We want righteous decisions. So, and I'm glad you didn't do it, but I'm fearful what it would take to make you change your mind. So thank you. My old mama said, always be nice so they'll invite you back the next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to address the board, please come forward and state your name and address and limit your comments to 3 minutes.
My name is Bob Ide, 3838 Garden Creek Road, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you folks tonight. It's nice that you listen to the citizens and what they have to say. There's a lot of good comments tonight. All I really want to say is just a little bit of an obvious observation from tonight is if, with the exception of a few in the crowd, nobody has a mask on here tonight, so I just hope that I'm seeing this right, that you are like me and don't believe that cloth masks really do any good anyway, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. If anyone else would like to address the board, please come forward and state your name and address and limit your comments to 3 minutes.